are back on Boond Soch ttalk train of thought with a series of an episodes with the prominent personalities from the industry. In fact, we believe that everyone in a normal life, there's a lot of tension, there's a lot of stress, there are the desire, and there's a need of an achievement. There's a competition, there are the worries, and there are the targets in life. So there's a full of stress around life, and many a times like on TikTok platform, we feel the word of an experience, the word of an encouragement, the word of a reassurance, and the word of a knowledge goes a long way in eliminating those negativity which is there. And in fact, today on this platform, we are having Mrs.Shraddha Neeraj. She is a founder of and Thrive with Shraddha Neeraj. Welcome to Shraddha, welcome to ttalk Boond Soch ki.
Thank you so much.
Good. Thanks a lot for spending a valuable time. So, in fact, as far as the philosophy of ttalk is concerned, is to give it back to an society in a meaningful way. And in fact, the experts who come on this platform, they share their experience, their struggles, and from that we draw a meaningful learning. A small introduction of Shraddha Neeraj. She's a commerce graduate and a law of an attraction coach, and she helps you find happiness, love, and joy in her life by taking care of the inner world. And she has been part of an corporate. She did a CFA, and she was part of an KR Choksi Associate as an equity research associate in the fundamental analysis. She was part of an ICICI Direct and Ad Factor. And then post that she ventured into an entrepreneurial venture, setting up a distribution network on Pan India. And everyone faces a challenge while working in the corporate world also. And then from there, how she navigated into the power of gratitude. Let's talk to Shraddha Neeraj on this ttalk platform and get more insights as far as her life journey which is concerned. Shraddha, welcome once again to ttalk Boond Soch ki. Now, for benefit of an audience, can you share your journey from education to the first job?
Sure.
Yeah.
So, firstly, thank you so much for inviting me on your channel, and
It's a pleasure.
It's a pleasure to be here with you. I come from a Gujarati family background, and most of our childhood is got to do more with numbers, and we mostly hail from commerce background or accounting kind of a background. So while growing up, I always wanted to do something which was into numbers, which was into accounting. And stock markets. So all if you know Gujaratis, all Gujaratis are aware about what's going on in stock market.
Correct.
So seeing my dad invest in stock market, I was quite interested in the whole stock, how it works, how do you invest. And post my graduation, I was very keen on doing something more in terms of stock market, and that is where I understood that it's the finance field that I need to, I need to enter. And I started evaluating my options on what all can I study as a postgraduate as a course which could help me get into finance. And MBA was one of the option. And at that time, Chartered Financial Analyst was a new course which was launched. And I did a lot of research, and I figured out that where my core area was of interest, this CFA course really was focused on that. And that's how I met a couple of career counselors, and they actually helped me get clarity, which helped me to choose CFA as a post-graduation or maybe a second degree.
Okay.
And I enrolled myself. I've done CFA from ICFA University. I enrolled myself there. CFA journey has not been that smooth. There were a couple of sessions or levels where I it wasn't a first go clear. I had to give it a couple of times. I failed a couple of times.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, but then each time I gave, I understood one thing, that my concepts in finance were getting more stronger.
I see.
And
Did you got nervous once you flung in between?
I did feel slightly, doubtful about myself, whether will I be really able to do this?
Mm-hmm.
But I said that no, this is something that when I read it, when I do it, it brings a lot of interest inside me.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I haven't studied it to what I really need to. I haven't got the concept in the whole totality. So maybe I need to study it one more time, or maybe I need to practice something.
I see.
And with that, again, with more deeper focus and study, I started to kind of read concepts, practice. I reached out to people to ask to solve my doubts.
Mm-hmm.
And then it all happened. I did clear.
But any parents are pushing you, nahi bhi chalo ye nahi to ye karo, ye nahi to ye karo.
Oh, I have been blessed like that. My parents have never pushed me ki ye nahi to ye karo.
They're supporting.
Yes, they have always been supportive. In fact, my father has been somebody who did not like studying, and he barely cleared his 12th.
Nice.
And he just started to pick up something he was looking out for a business where he could start earning money for the family. And my mom has been a graduate herself from NMIMS, from NM College. So my father had only one goal. He used to always tell me that, you know what, beta, I have not been very great at studies, but I don't want you to not follow my footstep. I want you to study. I want you to, take you. If you want to study even after my CFA, he was like, if you want to still study anything else, I am okay. You please pursue that. He was like, take as many degree as you can, but get the knowledge that you should.
And what attracts you to the law of attraction? Are you a coach in law of attraction? What motivates you towards law of attraction?
So when I was in my college, I got introduced to this book. I like reading, and I got introduced to this book called as The Power of Your Subconscious Mind. And in that book, they say that you can actually have everything that you think of. And read that book, found it interesting. Didn't know how to implement all of what was written in the book. But and that was then. I think this is something 2003 is where I read this book. 5-6 years passed by, growing in college, studying CFA. Somewhere in 2009 or 10, I was introduced to The Secret, which is, if people say law of attraction, it's synonym to The Secret. Like if I tell you that, do you know what is law of attraction? So people come and tell me, you're talking about The Secret. And I'm like, yeah. And I was introduced to that.
I see.
And when I saw, I read the book and then I saw the documentary. The documentary, what they say that, law of attraction is just like a law of gravity. It's always there.
Correct.
But you don't know how to channelize it in your favor. So, that really got me interested, and I started to kind of read. Again, I read the book one more time, and then I started to introspect, and I started to join a certain dots. And I was like, oh, I always wanted to do this. It didn't happen at that time. But few years later, it did happen.
You realized that you wanted to get into this. Okay.
And that's how my belief in law of attraction started to grow. One of the parts that law of attraction also talks is about being grateful and being happy. And as I started to practice more of gratitude in my life as I moved ahead, I started that I could actually get things very easily in my life with the power of gratitude.
But in between, you read that book, Law of Attraction, long back. And while at the corporate place, what are the challenges you have faced, and then how you could tackle those kind of problems in a brief,
Okay. So, in my corporates, the bigger challenges that were there were mostly, failure, not fear of failure. It was more of failure. Like we had to go and pitch stocks to a lot of institutes. Like being a research analyst, my profile was to identify a good stock, create a report on it, put my investment thesis that, this is the reason why you should invest in this stock. And once you've done that, it used to be a very exhaustive report, a long report with industry study and the company study. We have to go to fund managers and we have to go and pitch it to them, saying that this is an amazing investment idea. Why don't you put your money here? And with that, they would put money on this investment idea based on my investment advice. We would, as a as my employer, would get business. Right. So the challenge was that when they rejected the idea, after working hard for months put together, correct, you come up with an exhaustive report. You put out your conviction out there, but it gets rejected. So rejection is something which we all don't deal it with that ease, right?
Correct.
So that was one of the bigger challenges that I had faced at my work.
And what is the assignment which gave you more satisfaction and recognition? Is it being part of the corporate world or being part of and power of and gratitude?
So my entrepreneurial journey has actually given me more, satisfaction. Nice. Because every client of mine today, when I coach them, and when we start the coaching, they are in a particular thought process where they are slightly towards a negative bend of mind.
Nice.
And with the journey together, there comes a point of time when they come and tell me that, Shraddha, I have been able to keep myself in a happy zone.
Good.
And I've been able to change my mindset. So that is something which brings me a lot of satisfaction, which brings me joy that I can make a difference in someone's life.
Good, great. I think it's an interesting story what we are capturing on ttalk Boond Soch ki exclusively of Shraddha Neeraj. Our Thrives brand thrives with Shraddha Neeraj. And I'm sure the kind of an insight she had faced and failure when she was part of an CFA twice, but she never gave up. And there were various challenges in the life while she was working at the corporate place, but she could counteract those kind of failures. Now, in fact, in our next episode, we are going to talk more in terms of a corporate journey and the power of gratitude. And if you like Shraddha Neeraj, just go to www.ttalk.net, subscribe and like the channel as much as you can and catch up with Shraddha Neeraj in our next episode on ttalk Boond Soch. Till then, thank you very much. Ma'am, thanks a lot for being part of this show. Thank you very much.
Thank you.